you know what we're about to go into. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. With that being said, let's get into it.
Video that went viral of a possession caught on camera inside a
What?
church.
GG's, bro.
It was supposed to be a regular vlog.
Yeah.
As she finished praying, she's gonna light one of the candles in the church, and then she hears like a screech, kind of like a demon, like a... And she sees a man that's making these weird noises, which eventually she ends up calling the priest. He comes out, he starts doing this prayer, and then the man starts doing these demonic screeches even more, bro. Oh, you heard that?
Yeah. Yeah, damn. And it's uncut.
Yes, yes. Bro, this footage is like 10 minutes long, 12 minutes long. Look, they all start praying.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Yo, imagine how she feels right there behind him.
I know she's shook, bro.
Oh, hell nah. Bro, that's when the priest comes and he basically performs like exorcism right then and there. Bro,
Oh my gosh, bro. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'll be able to handle like being in that church, bro.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Fuck that, we're out of there. Yo.
Picture this. Imagine being a large grocery chain, such as Kroger, and having to possibly fire the entire promotional department. And why do I say that? Because, they run commercials and ads all across the TV with what's on sale. Well, this week's special of meat might have you rethinking shopping at one of their grocery stores. If you haven't seen this viral video, take a look at this. Check this out.
Kroger put out a TV ad. Watch this.
Watch carefully. Pay attention to the meat.
You can save big in every aisle at Kroger. Right now, USDA choice bone-in ribeye.
Are those bugs
What
crawling
the hell?
across that meat?
What the hell just crawled across that meat?
I can't believe it. If you look
Watch. Look at them.
right there,
Ribeye roasts are on the
how did they miss that?
How exactly do you miss something that obvious while recording meat? Bugs crawling across the meat. Have one more look at this clip again.
So Kroger put out a TV ad. Watch this.
You can save big in every aisle at Kroger. Right now, USDA choice bone-in ribeye.
Are those bugs
And
crawling across that meat?
This is ridiculous.
I can't believe
I'm
it.
seeing
If you
this
look
much. Look.
right there,
ribeye roasts are on the
how did they miss that?
So if you have a Kroger supermarket chain in your local viewing area, keep an eye out for that commercial. Let me know if you see the same thing. But at the same time, what are your thoughts on this? The entire marketing team fired? I say so. Let me know your thoughts on this. And will you go shop and get that meat deal that they just showed on that ad? And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Did you guys hear what just happened in Vancouver? And this could happen anywhere. So we're on the spinning globe here, and I'm going to zoom in. This is a landmark, historic, game changer if you live in basically this area, a huge area. I'll show you a picture. So here's the headline, and this hasn't really been announced too hard. The mainstream hasn't even covered it yet. The government of Canada has agreed to recognize the Musqueam First Nations Aboriginal title in Metro Vancouver. So it would be this much land, which is now going to be, they're going to have title on it. So look, Government of Canada's landmark agreement recognizes them So they get title on land. Now, this happened, if you remember, like last year or 2 years ago, where a big chunk of houses in Burnaby, I believe, or Richmond, were changed over to all of a sudden, no, it's on native land. And therefore, then the bank said, well, we're not going to get a mortgage on this freaking thing. And someone had been paying taxes and living there for their whole life. And all of a sudden, it's not even their own land. Now, I already know some of you may think like, this is good, like this is right. But then do we go back to like Turkey and Armenia? Do we go back to parts of Moldova and Hungary that used to be other parts of other countries and take land back and start moving everything around? And what about, like, for example, wherever the Iroquois lands were, before it was the Iroquois, they had to kind of, fight tooth and nail to get it to be their land. Are they going to give it back to the Mohawk? Like, you know what I mean? The Musqueam only owns that or had that land because they made sure they were defending it from other tribes. Like, you see what I'm saying? So I don't know exactly how this is going to pan out, but let me know your thoughts. Is this good or bad in the comments below, and follow for more. There has never been a more important time in human history to be of sound mind and body. With all the chemicals in the food and water supply, it's truly shocking. Right now, Chalk is giving away free $100 bags of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, the chocolate powder, which is super detoxing and delicious. And if you combine that with the hot water purified shilajit, you're getting some of the most potent superfoods in the natural world. Comment free below and check your DMs for details.
Okay, y'all, I'm gonna talk to you about something so freaking insane. So last video, we talked about this lady. She's out with the person filming in the middle of the ocean, just them. She starts seeing dolphin in her still picture. Then she looks to the left and then she sees that. Whoever that is a siren. I'm telling you right freaking now. Because literally what? Mind you, they're alone. And now everyone's been talking about how people always say whenever you see a dolphin, a siren is right around the corner. And I just have something to say about that. Because y'all remember the whole Gerald thing, right? I'm talking about the Florida man that said that he was kidnapped by bottlenose dolphin. This might seem like a repeat to people that have been here following the series, but I have to tell other people, like I have to start them somewhere. He was taken, come to find out, he passed a psych eval, he wasn't on a substance. Boom, he starts making all these like really detailed sketches of apparently these buildings and stuff that the bottlenose dolphins are forcing him to build underground, or not underground, underwater. And the dolphin that was in charge of this was called Gerald, and Gerald literally said, go ahead and tell them, no one will believe you. Right? There's more to the story, more evidence, but we're going to keep going. Okay, so we talked about how dolphins were used in the Vietnam War to sniff out bombs. They have been used by the US government to arrest people underwater, like unauthorized divers. We talked about how they can see our emotions in almost like auras, and their sonar is so powerful that apparently it can assist the birth. And there was actually a whole birthing center with dolphins until it got shut down because apparently it was giving women painless birth when they would go around them and around them. And it's illegal to talk to dolphins. People say it's not illegal, but they don't want you talking to them in their natural habitat, only in captivity, right? So now my thing is, here's my thing. What if, and I might sound crazy, what if the dolphins and the sirens can talk? And this is why people always say that everywhere you see a dolphin, you're going to see a siren. What if they're coexisting, bro? And what if that's what they don't want us to know? Do I sound insane? I don't know. I feel like they know something. And I feel like everybody's kind of catching on to it because anytime they come out in the news talking about, oh, it was a hoax. Like if it's a hoax and it's just like tomfoolery, why do you feel the need to publicly tell everybody that it's tomfoolery? You wouldn't give it the time of day, right? And why were y'all sending helicopters to go check out exactly where the dude said Gerald was? Riddle me that. I don't know, y'all. It just, I feel like there's some kind of connection. I have to do more research, find out if there's any folklore or any old stories that connects the two. I don't know. I feel like the connection between their clicks and sounds and then sirens also using sounds and music to lure people into the, there's a connection and I'm going to freaking find it. I'm a sleuth until I find it. Anyway, y'all, as always, make sure you like and follow. Comment down below what you think.
NASA is modifying its first ever 777. It acquired this 777-200ER from Japan Airlines back in 2022, and it's eventually going to replace their DC-8. It's being modified to become essentially a flying science lab, and Jay Adams on X spotted this plane just a few days ago. Hopefully we'll see this thing fly soon.
So I was going through the files, and I realized Larry Ellison has his own island. Now, if you guys don't know who Larry Ellison is the new owner of TikTok. Top of that, there's this email right here that says, did he get the island because he was jealous of Jeffries? This is the island of Lanai. This is owned by Larry Ellison, and the sole visitor, guess his name, Benjamin Netanyahu. What is going on with TikTok? Like this post and follow. More about TikTok coming today.
Oh boy. Oh boy, that's... Oh, we're so screwed.
Have you seen this latest footagers of the moon from the Artemis 2 mission? They noticed some movement, and so they zoomed in on the camera and look at this crater hole. There's an objector that comes out of it. Well, NASA's now saying, oh, this was just a smudge on the camera, but you can literally see the shadow. And so I'm curious what you think it is. I reached out to my cousin who works at PetSmart in the fish section, and she said, look at that movement. She said, look, there are asteroid edges that hit the moon's surface, but they don't usually come outside of the moon. And so to me, it seems like it's a UFO, but it just seems almost unbelievable. But I'm curious what you think. Did you hear that a local band of dogs called the Barebone Bandits have taken over the Great Pyramid of Giza? They went up there last week and they won't let anybody come around it. They'll run down on the stone steps and they'll bite you on your ankles, your arm, whatever they can get to. A few people have been injured by it. And now scientists and philosophers are saying, why are they there? Is this a sign that's been written in ancient texts about a prophecy that's going to come to pass? Or is this just random? They're trying to get the world's best dog catcher. His name is Jeffrey O'Neill. He's from Phoenix, Arizona, but he said, I don't want to fly all the way over there. And so a lot of people are donating more money to try to get him to go because they're like, we want touristers to come to the pyramids, but right now no one wants to go with these dogs on it. I'm curious, though, if you were in charge of getting rid of these dogs, what would you do to get rid of them? Or would you just let them be up there?
Iranian state-run TV channel has released more AI slop showing what they say happened during the rescue mission for the F-15 crew member. Let's take a look at this. First, it shows this C-130 trying to land on a wet runway, skidding side to side. It eventually does land, the soldiers get out, but then another C-130 shows up. This one gets shot, it loses, it looks like engine number 2, and then semi-crash lands near the other C-130. The soldiers still get out though, and then we'll fast forward a little bit here, where it shows a Black Hawk being shot down by a single round from a sniper. It eventually ends with the soldiers trying to evacuate on a C-130, and then an F-22/F-35 mashup thing bombing the planes.
This is the power of your mind they don't want you to know about. So they're in a room with no wind, I presume. Look at the piece of paper. Is that why they put fluoride in the water, clog our pineal glands? Because we were capable of stuff like this and so much more. Let me know what you think. Stay weird.
Whoa. There's a whole class of
This man got 325 years in prison. He will never be a free man again. This is James Michael Doss. He is 67. He is from Coleman County, Alabama, and he was sentenced to 325 years in prison by Judge Emily Nizer Johnston, which great job, Judge, for crimes against children, specifically his own grandchildren. So earlier this year, Doss entered a blind plea. No deal, no negotiation, no guarantees, just guilty on 12 charges, including first-degree sodomy, production of CSAM, SA of a child under 12, and multiple counts of possession of CSAM. Investigators say that the abuse spanned years. And according to the DA, Doss had no remorse. He would reoffend if given the chance, which thanks to the judge, he doesn't get that chance. But let me step out of reporting for a second. I hate these stories. I hate them in a way that's hard to even put into words. I am a father to a young daughter, and legit, there are more of these cases than I could ever begin to cover. They keep coming every single day. Different names, different places, same kind of evil. I will never understand how someone can look at a child, especially a child that's related to them, and do something like this. This type of deviance is something deeper, something broken in a way that doesn't make sense. It is just, I don't know, evil and demented. And yes, 325 years is exactly what he deserves. And my hope is that every single day of that sentence feels like the weight of what he did, and that the other prisoners never allow him to forget it. But the part that bothers me is that this outcome is not the norm. You all know this. Most cases like this don't end with sentences like this. Too many end in plea deals that shave off years, even decades, from consequences. And that's why I keep talking about them. That's why I keep sharing these cases, even when I don't want to. And if you're someone who's angry and tired of it too, this is where you actually do something. The first thing you can do, follow this page so these stories don't disappear. Second, sign the petition to end easy plea deals for those who harm kids. It's in my profile. And last and most important, speak up, because silence is exactly what allows this to keep happening.
Have you heard about Annie, the mysterious mystery dog who, for whatever reason now, is attracting ducks? She lives in Connecticut, and they said that ducks are coming from all over Connecticut, like flying and flocking, and especially as they return now for summer, they're going to the farm that Annie lives on, and the owner's like, we don't even know how we're going to feed or sustain this many ducks. Scientists are confused. They're beyond baffled because they said they've never seen behavior like this. They don't know if there's like an energy field that Annie is putting out that the ducks are picking up on. But I'm going out to the farm tomorrow, and I'm going to get some footage and also run some tests, and so I'll keep you updated on what we find out.
It's so weird.
I'm a conspiracy theorist, but you don't have to be one to find this strange. Before the World Wars, bells were everywhere. City centers, churches, cathedrals, and people even had them at their homes. Then the wars start, and suddenly we're told they all had to be melted down for ammunition, or cracked, or buried. If you look back through history, bells weren't just for telling time. People believed their frequencies could heal, ward off storms, and even protect against dark energies like demons. And now with everything coming out in the Epstein files and it becoming apparent evil runs the world, it makes you wonder why they really got rid of the bells. Because again, we're told it was for ammunition for the wars. Maybe that's true, or maybe bells have a deeper purpose and they don't want us to have them. But what do I know? I'm just a conspiracy theorist. Comment bell to learn more.
What really happened in 2024 at Bayside Marketplace in Miami? I want to know. I need to talk about it because no way all of these police came out for some kids that were supposedly pew-pewing. No way nobody caught anything on freaking camera, and no way there are multiple witnesses that don't even know each other saying that they saw a 10 to 12 foot tall alien humanoid being that emerged from a portal. Listen. This is another episode of Stranger Things Have Happened because I'm at the point where like I put nothing past this world anymore. If you've dove into CERN, if you've dove into like the opening of the portals by the popes, honestly, if you even went down the rabbit hole of the Vatican and how many disturbing things they have going on in the archives that we know of, right? Because it's blocked off. And you don't even have to wonder. Like, first of all, I'm not even getting into it. It's too much for this video. Just know it's built on a pagan burial ground, first of all. The things that the Vatican have done are not even borderline. They are sinister. What happened to Emanuela Orlandi, that 15-year-old that went missing in Vatican City? And there's so many creepy connections with the Pope. Why are they holding the bones of old popes in there? What are they doing with it? Anyway, I say all this to say, like, this world is really insane, and you would think with the files, like, we would admit that. And why in the world is it so weird? Why is it so weird for people to think about a 10 to 12 foot tall humanoid being in the Bayside Marketplace coming from underground? We literally know as fact there are cities underground. I mean, just look at the Paris catacombs. People are still roaming that. Like, people that supposedly live there are doing rituals there. There's a lot happening underground that we don't know about and we couldn't know about. I mean, shoot, we don't even know what's going on in the water. Y'all remember when I told you about the Soviet Navy freaking finding humanoid creatures? Documented Soviet Navy encounter, literally documented humanoid creatures found. And they were powerful, and they had like weird underwater powers that shot the divers backwards with this force, this energy force. And a couple of them didn't even make it, I think, because they swam up so fast in fear that they got the bends. Stranger things have happened. I want to know if anyone knows anything, please. If there are any clips please send them to me so we can talk about it and I can make a video on it. Because you guys wanted a part 2 and I have been digging for like days trying to find new. How are there no clips? How is there no footage? In 2024, when people are glued to their phones, something's fishy. Something was wiped. It was all wiped. I mean, hey, anyway, y'all. As always, make sure you like and follow. Comment down below what you think. Yeah.
If you remember the guy who ordered the blood-soaked shoes from the dark web, just know that he's still getting shoes delivered to him. He posted this video back in July saying he couldn't talk about the dark web shoes anymore, and this was after he'd been sent a second pair that he didn't order. But then in August, he came home to a package at his door that was from the same reshipper as the other pairs. Now, this is already so scary because the previous shoes had been shipped to his P.O. box, and he did this specifically so that whoever is selling these shoes on the dark web wouldn't know where he lives. But if you remember, the very first pair of shoes he got had a tracker in the heel of the boots. What's even more horrifying is that these new pair of shoes are covered in blood just like the others, but they also have maggots in them.
Ew. I didn't know they made sound.
He said that he had actually received 2 additional packages that he wasn't expecting that were sent to his P.O. box before this, but he apparently threw them away and never made content about it in the hopes that if he just stopped playing along, whoever was doing this would leave him alone. And that clearly wouldn't be the case because that's when the third pair of blood-soaked shoes with maggots in them appeared on his doorstep. And even though he didn't need to because the maggots seemed like proof enough, he tested these ones with luminol. If you don't know what luminol is, it's a product that helps detect blood, most often used at crime scenes. And safe to say, these shoes lit up the night. What do you guys think of all of this?
So I asked ChatGPT yesterday, when was the assassination of Charlie Kirk? And to my surprise, it responded with this. There hasn't been an assassination of Charlie Kirk. As of now, he's alive, and there's no verified report of anything like that happening. If you come across a post or video claiming otherwise, it's almost certainly misinformation. Now, I closed out of this a few times and asked it the same question, and it always gave me the same answer. Now, this is interesting because I know that this assassination was a staged event, and perhaps ChatGPT is telling us the truth. Let me show you how I know. We're going to start with a holographic projector in the back of this tent that had the exact same specs, by the way, that you need to make a hologram. Look into that. And they took this down, and we can't figure out what happened to it, but this is exactly what that was. It's a holographic projector in the back of that tent. And you're going to see a few anomalies that happened during this event that don't make sense, that look like a hologram or CGI. Just like the chair going through the table. Just right through the table, just like that. Look at that right there. That doesn't look real, does it? That looks like CGI, that looks like a hologram. And then, of course, we have the infamous red dot that just happened to just jump right over to his neck from his shirt. Let's watch it in slow motion here. There it is, okay? Now we're going to cover that up. Let's also go ahead and watch the F on his shirt. Gone, vanishes into thin air, and reappears right there. You could also see that the ring jumps from his wedding finger to his pinky finger right there. People that aren't sleeping or actually awake and not ignorant to what's going on in this world understand that the elites, they stamp the number 33 on everything that they do, all their staged events. That's because there's 33 degrees to Freemasonry, and they're all 33rd degree Freemasons that are deceiving humanity. That's what's been going on. For the 33-hour manhunt for the guy that supposedly assassinated Charlie Kirk, yeah. Just a striking coincidence, isn't it? Like I said, 33, the Inspector General, the highest ranking Freemasons. Watch how they put this shit in your face. There was a card game that they made in 1995 called the Illuminati Card Game of Conspiracy, and all these cards have come to fucking truth. Like I said, 1995, terrorist nuke, 9/11, Pentagon, 9/11, epidemic, 2020, fucking quarantine. But this one is really interesting right here. Enough is enough. At any time, any place, our snipers can drop you. Look at the thumbnail. At the time of this event, this was the last short on his YouTube. Look at the thumbnail. And then look at the title. Enough is enough. They're laughing at you guys. You're stupid. If you're aware that everything is a planned and staged event and that the elites are attacking us mind, body, and soul, that's why I take Chalk's hot water purified shilajit every single day so I can get the proper minerals in my body so I can detox from all the poisons that they're poisoning us with. I have incredible lifetime discounts for you guys, so comment the word info and check your DMs. Peace and
At some point people are going to have to realize, like, it ain't made up. That's It's abomination to God. Repent. Kingdom of God is at hand.
Guys, this is your day 10 update, and this is the last one. The crew is strapped in, re-entry starts in just a few hours, and tonight they come home. So the crew woke up for the last time in space this morning, and right now they are strapped in and they're configuring Orion for re-entry. Every single piece of equipment is now locked down, seats are installed, and they've been going over re-entry checklist all afternoon. Here is exactly what tonight is gonna look like. At 7:33 p.m. Eastern, the service module is gonna separate and burn up behind them. At 7:53, the capsule is going to hit the atmosphere and the plasma blackout is going to begin. This is going to be 6 minutes where mission control hears absolutely nothing.
It will take on extreme heat as it travels up to 25,000 miles per hour. Their safe return largely depends on the heat shield located at the bottom of the spacecraft.
Then at 8:03, the first parachutes are going to fire. Then 8:04, the 3 main parachutes are going to open. And then at around 8:07 p.m., they're going to splash down in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of San Diego. The entire re-entry actually only takes about 13 minutes, and I'm going to be going live in a few hours so that we can watch the entire thing together. 10 days ago, we got to watch the Artemis crew leave the Earth, and tonight we are about to watch them land back home. Just make sure that you go ahead and add me now, because I will be live in a few hours, and we are gonna watch every single second of it.
Hold on a second. Are you aware of the speed that the Artemis 2 and other space shuttles need to reach in order to get into lower Earth orbit? You may not believe this, I didn't at first, but listen to the official numbers. According to NASA and space agencies, spaceships must reach 17,500 miles an hour to completely escape Earth's gravity. Then they need to hit 25,000 miles an hour to fully get up there. Now hold on a second, 17,000 and 25,000 miles an hour. Right here, we can safely assume that this is not going anywhere close to that, right? Now, do you know how fast a bullet travels, which you definitely cannot see? 2,700 miles an hour on average. That's from a rifle, depending on the cartridge. Now, do you honestly believe this spaceship, quote unquote, is going to, once it's completely out of your view, reach speeds of 25,000 miles an hour? Because that's what they say, and if that was going, you can picture it, 25,000 miles an hour would be, you wouldn't even see it. But apparently, it gets its velocity up and absolutely takes off. Meanwhile, the Dorito-shaped aircraft that are known to be some of the fastest in the world don't get anywhere close to that. Now, if they're hiding this from us and deceiving us, can you imagine what else is going on with other areas of our society? Namely the food, air, and water supply, and the air supply being potentially polluted with heavy metals, but of course that's not coming from any planes. If you think it's important to detox this stuff out of you and boost your vitality and decalcify your pineal gland, right now Chalk is giving away free $100 bags of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia, the chocolate powder, which is super detoxifying and delicious. Plus, if you combine that with the hot water purified shilajit, you're getting some of the most powerful adaptogens in the natural world. Comment free below and check your DMs for details.
Indianapolis city councilor who was given 13 reasons why through his front door and then had the audacity to come on TV and be like, we don't need to make violence like this a regular thing. Sir, we don't need people in power not serving and protecting the people they were elected to serve and protect. And no one was injured, but now they have the FBI out here announcing publicly this was a targeted attack. We're not stupid. We know this was a targeted attack. This man knows it was a targeted attack because he was doing everything but listen to an entire city full of people saying, we don't want a data center. This one counselor was basically out there marketing for this data center. Sir, how much were these people paying you to work this hard to literally ignore everyone? The way that they now have police and FBI scouring his property trying to look for all 13 reasons citizens in Indianapolis gave him to listen to them. The way that they're not making it official what the motive was, but these people quite literally left their calling card at this counselor's front door saying no data center. However much they paid you, sir, you just need to give that check right on back because I don't know how the people in your area could be any clearer. Let's hope all these other towns and cities who are fighting the exact same fight against these data centers, I hope their city councilors listen better than this man did.
real NPCs in the world, dog. This nigga is dead ass not here. Look at this shit.
What?
I'm at Walmart, bro. I swear I'm at Walmart in the parking lot. It's not AI. Bro, this nigga is not real.
For real?
He's dead ass. Nigga, he's not asleep.
What?
What the fuck? Yo, nigga, what is this? What the fuck, nigga?
It's over. You've seen it for yourself, guys. NPCs are driving now. You better look both ways before you cross. Shut up! People are saying, somebody said this. What if it's the NPCs that's causing these collisions in the streets when stuff happens? Right? You ever thought of that? Now, what really sucks about this, guys, is that we're already dealing with NPC people, which means they're not real. Not only that, we're dealing with real people that aren't real either. Stop playing with me. Some of these videos for entertainment purpose only. I don't know what the hell is going on there, guys, but I'm going to be honest with you. That guy did not look real at all. Shut up. He's probably the one that's causing traffic. Yeah. This is what people are saying, guys. Like I said, I'm just joking around. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys. You know what it is. Shut up. But I tell you one thing. If I'm ever walking through the streets or sitting in my car and I see somebody sitting in a car